You want reality TV? Follow us as we show you the side of police chase videos you normally don't see. Wild arrest, kamikaze crooks, and some of the most intense moments caught on video. Next on Hot Pursuit. It's a week before Christmas, and this red pickup truck is clearly in a rush to do some last-minute shopping. Watch as he speeds along this Georgia highway. He obviously has no regard for the local speed limit and is doing his best to elude the officers in pursuit. It's a good possibility that he's very, very drunk. So regardless of the holidays, these cops want justice. Watch as the truck bobs and weaves through the holiday traffic while the cruiser goes to head him off behind this truck. The smashing finish suddenly seals the truck driver's fate. There's no doubt he'll be spending his holiday behind bars. Cops are about to pull over this car full of teenagers.
Good. Do you have your driver's license with you?
And cut their party short.
Is there any reason why you're driving so fast?
The officer starts to take the young driver through a standard police stop routine.
Okay. Let's come on back here a minute so I can talk to you a little bit more about it.
But the cop and the teenagers are completely unaware that hurtling right at them at high speed
Your guns, knives on you, anything like that? Taser in there, too.
is this random drunk guy.
All right, you all right?
This guy has nothing to do with the other guys in the car. He's just totally inebriated and just happens to stumble headlong into the path of a policeman. The officer quickly shifts his attention to the more obvious candidate for arrest
Let's sit down right here for a minute.
and carries out standard procedure once again.
Just come on back here with me so I can talk to you a little bit. You don't carry any weapons or guns or anything out on you?
The drunken man is charged with public intoxication and put into the back of the cruiser. Now the trooper turns his attention back to the original suspect. But this time, the officer is on the passenger side. He even helps check the car for possible dents from the man's impact.
Your car, where he hit?
A simple traffic stop ends with the arrival of an unexpected guest. Next time you get drunk and stumble headfirst into a parked car, don't do it to one that's being pulled over by police. To Kansas City now, where police officers are about to resort to serious measures in order to deal with a much more serious situation. The guy in the truck ahead has already been found guilty of a drug-related crime and sentenced to house arrest, but now he's making an escape attempt from his own home. The cops don't want to hurt him, they just want to take him back into custody. But the escaped criminal wants no part of police and proceeds to speed down the Missouri highway as fast as he can. The troopers follow him, quickly realizing that flashing lights and sirens aren't going to get this guy to pull over, so they arrange for another police vehicle down the road to prepare the stinger spikes. The stinger spikes are laid out in front of an oncoming vehicle in order to blow out its tires. It's usually only deployed as a last resort. Here's the stinger cop coming up under this bridge. The truck runs right over the spikes, bursting at least one tire. A shower of sparks is usually a sure sign that the driver has lost complete control of his vehicle. But the cop's determination to catch this guy is matched only by the criminal's hunger for freedom, as he quickly takes off again. It's only after a second stinger is deployed that the guy finally puts on the brakes. But watch carefully, as the convict decides to do something even more stupid. He fires shots at the police while attempting to flee on foot. The cops immediately return fire, using the fugitive's own truck as cover. As the original officers close in, more troopers appear armed with shotguns. The man eventually succumbs to the overwhelming force of the police. This guy thought he could outrun the cops and even tried shooting at them. But the police were ready for him and didn't hesitate to use the necessary force. Next on Hot Pursuit, this guy gets caught in a major traffic jam, and one man's curiosity gets him in trouble. Police chase videos often involve footage of cop cruisers ramming into vehicles in order to slow a suspect down. This railside footage shows a good example of much the same sort of thing, but on a considerably larger scale. Looking at the crash again, it's obvious that when a large train faces off against a smaller vehicle, that size really does matter. As the officer handcuffs his suspect, he does everything in his power to make sure things go as smoothly as possible. Some things are just completely out of police control.
How's that? Is that good?
With the cuffs adjusted, the traffic officer begins his arrest procedure.
All right, go ahead and spread your feet apart. Spread your feet way apart. Point your toes out.
But he only gets as far as the suspect's pants before all hell breaks loose.
God damn! Oh! And I need an ambulance, signal 5.
At this stage, it's not quite clear what has actually happened, but by the sound of it, it's very, very bad. If we switch to the dashboard camera of the squad car behind us, we can see precisely what has just occurred. Here is the police cruiser whose viewpoint we were looking through before, and the suspect's own vehicle is parked just ahead. The officer and the suspect, remember, are standing between these two vehicles, when out of the blue, another car comes out of nowhere and smashes the police cruiser, pushing it forward, and the unfortunate suspect winds up pinned between his own vehicle and the smashed-up squad car.
God damn!
The handcuffed man is still alive, but unconscious. The officer, meanwhile, appears to have received a nasty leg injury.
Oh, my knee is killing me. Son of a...
He tries to pull the suspect free,
I will not move!
but the man is wedged in too firmly. Slowly, the suspect regains consciousness,
He's coming out right now. Please, the ambulance is on its way.
but is too dazed to know what's going on.
Take those off of him, please.
He just sits by the side of the road staring in disbelief at the wreck he's just been pulled out of. This incident started out with a simple arrest
Is that too tight?
and ended up much more.
This car will not move!
This guy's still going to jail, but amazingly, he made it out of this ordeal alive. High in the skies above LA, this chopper spots a pair of car thieves on the run. Why they've stolen this old red Honda remains a mystery. It's not worth any money, and pretty soon it'll be worth even less. Yet still the driver and his passenger are determined to avoid getting caught at any cost.
Going at least 100 miles an hour right now, at least 100 miles an hour.
So they've decided to flee from the cops at terrifying speeds through busy roads and then out into the open desert. But after more than 3 hours of police chase action, these highway troopers are intent on bringing it to an end.
He hit the spike strip. We'll see what happens.
We don't know what this driver's thinking, but even with his tires blown out by the stinger, he foolishly decides to carry on. His passenger, on the other hand, has other ideas. Now flying solo and his tires shredded, the fugitive rides on the Honda's rims, slowing down the chase.
The right rear tire is completely locked up. It's not even spinning.
But the shower of sparks isn't just there for show. They've actually managed to set fire to the vehicle's engine. And when things get too hot to handle, the man is finally forced to bail out.
The car is on fire. This guy is going to have to get out of the vehicle now because the vehicle is on fire, and we'll see what happens there. He gets up. He says, I've had enough. Gets out of the vehicle. He's being ordered backwards.
This clunker wasn't really worth stealing in the first place, and now it's just a pile of molten scrap. If the driver and his accomplice had bailed out earlier, then this hot pursuit might not have gone up in smoke. A routine police stop is in progress on the shoulder of this busy road. We've all driven past similar roadside incidents, and most of us will probably admit to being just a little bit curious to see what's going on. But take your eyes off the road for a second, and something like this could happen. If he'd been minding his own business, then perhaps this nosy driver wouldn't have ended up parked underneath the car in front. As it is, the cops now have double the trouble, and the other vehicles on the road have an even bigger distraction as they drive by.
Right, I've got the left lane is completely blocked.
The guy in this vehicle here is clearly distracted by the situation, but fortunately for those involved, curiosity didn't kill anyone. Coming up, the weather provides police with an opportunity, and one driver nearly takes a cop's life. Sometimes the weather can be the cop's biggest ally against crime. Take this dreary Oklahoma morning, for example. The cops want to stop this car in front by any means necessary.
We're approaching 1860 here. This subject looks like he's...
As far as the fugitive is concerned, the rain's not going to stop him, although he's having a hard time picking up much speed.
He's not going very fast.
As the chase continues, the pursuing officer begins to get a little impatient.
As dangerous as he is, I may try to spin him out.
But he quickly changes his mind, realizing that the man's balding tires will eventually lose their hold on the wet road.
Well, he may wreck out.
And that's exactly what happens.
He's wrecked out.
When rainy weather makes the pursuit difficult and the chase seems to be going nowhere,
He's not going very fast.
sometimes all police need to do is sit back and wait for the suspect to lose his grip.
He's wrecked out.
It's often said that police possess a special sixth sense that alerts them whenever danger is in the air. At the moment, there doesn't seem to be any danger at the scene of this routine South Carolina traffic stop. But then again, it's not the people inside the car that the officer needs to be aware of. It's amazing how close this officer came to being seriously hurt. Saved by only his razor-sharp reactions, he's lucky to even be alive. To this day, no one has an explanation for why this driver tried to mow him down. By far, the most popular crime on the roads is driving under the influence, or DUI as cops like to call it. But there are plenty of ways to make a simple drunk driving case even more exasperating for everyone involved. Watch as this driver completely ignores the blaring siren and flashing lights behind her.
She's pulling into a parking space.
And when she eventually gets home, she annoys the police even further by waiting in her car. When she finally exits the vehicle, she proceeds to tell the officer that she hasn't even noticed him until now.
Hello.
Hi.
Any reason why you're just now stopping?
No, I didn't see you.
Didn't see me, didn't hear me with my siren behind you?
No, I did not.
Huh. Did you know you have a flat tire?
You know you have a flat tire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sensing the officer probably doesn't believe her story, she makes a mad dash for her front door.
No, ma'am. Let's go.
By now, the officer has his hands full, so he calls for backup and sits tight until other police units arrive.
Take 105 North Avenue, 52.
Anybody with her? No, nobody's with her.
And when they arrive, the woman begins cursing and screaming at them.
No, you're not, bastard. Bastard. I am here.
We can get her on
No,
this.
I will call my attorney.
Yeah.
Bastard.
Yeah.
You bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah? You wiener.
Relax, man.
Now, easy,
Ma'am,
easy,
just
easy,
hang on,
easy.
hang on, hang on. We gotta take the
Don't
first
play
one.
these games. Let's
She tries to play dumb with the officers once again,
exactly what she is doing.
Okay, what are you guys arresting me for?
I told you.
but it appears they've finally had enough of her.
You gotta sit down in the car.
Nobody is going at the back of the car.
Yeah.
No. You bastard.
This could be harder, it can be easy.
You goddamn. Fuck.
As police finally get her in the squad car, she makes sure she gets the last word.
Bastard. I haven't done anything goddamn wrong.
Watch your teeth.
This woman didn't want to go down without a fight and even tried to play dumb.
Why you're just now stopping?
No, I didn't see you.
She even insulted the officers.
You wiener.
But when she decided to get physical, the cops finally had enough.
I know.
Next on Hot Pursuit, an officer gets stuck in the mud. And a 4x4 gets caught in the act. It's not easy being a cop sometimes. High-speed chases don't always end up in an arrest. For example, this officer chasing this red Chevy truck speeding off. The suspect is most likely drunk or on drugs because they're taking corners way too fast. The police vehicle soon catches up. The officer here is the first one at the crash scene. He moves toward the truck, pistol in hand. But from this second angle, we can see that the suspect is already halfway down the street. The officer realizes this and heads off in pursuit. But the deputy is unaware. He's aiming his weapon at a completely empty car as the crook takes off. Hopefully, another officer will make the arrest down the road. The Georgia cop here tailing this 4x4 is ready to initiate a pit maneuver, a police technique that basically involves ramming your subject off the road. The officer waits patiently, however, until the right moment to pull it off. There's also plenty of cops waiting to join in on the action. There's a couple of squad cars here, for example, and another one sitting here. Two more cruisers view the action from the safety of the bridge, and another cop car sits here as backup. But despite the heavy police presence, the SUV carries on, even if it means racing on the shoulder to avoid the heavy traffic. There's a surprise for the runaway, though, as he weaves out of the traffic jam. Two more squad cars are waiting to cut him off. First contact is made as the cruiser ahead clips the front end of the vehicle. But the SUV driver recovers and comes back for more. It's not long before the driver attempts a pit-style maneuver of his own. He hits the cruiser hard, sending it out of control. But in doing so, he loses control of his own vehicle and comes to a grinding halt just ahead. As police officers arrive on the scene, the driver and passenger of the 4x4 are both taken out of their vehicle and into custody. This guy thought he had the police beat. But when he tries to ram this police cruiser, he winds up losing control of his own car.